nervous system and yes, am I clear now? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
ओके ओके। तो मैं ये बता रहा था कि कल हमने ये अपना सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम में ब्रेन वाला पार्ट खत्म किया था। आज हम स्पाइनल कॉर्ड पे जाएंगे, फिर आपका पेरिफेरल नर्वस सिस्टम एंड ऑटोनॉमिक नर्वस सिस्टम, ये दोनों को हम आज खत्म करेंगे। ठीक है, तो अभी चलते हैं स्पाइनल नर्वस सिस्टम में। ओके, spinal cord, it is just another part of the central nervous system, that is spinal cord. Now spinal cord is a soft whitish elongated cylindrical hollow and 31 segmented neural extension called medulla spinalis. Okay, spinal cord को हम medulla spinalis कहते हैं। It is soft whitish elongated cylindrical hollow and is 31, okay, 31 segmented neural extension called medulla spinalis. Okay, इसमें इसमें 31 segments होता है। Spinal cord is 31 segmented and another name of spinal cord is medulla spinalis. And the second point is it extends up to the level of first lumbar vertebra in terminal cone-like structure called conus medullaris or terminalis. Okay, ये extends up to first lumbar vertebra and in a conical structure, a terminal cone-like structure called, उसको बोलते हैं conus. Okay, in a terminal cone-like structure which is called the conus medullaris. Okay, or we can say conus or conus terminalis. We can say conus medullaris or conus terminalis. A cone-like terminal cone-like structure जिसके इनसाइड ये एक्सटेंड होता है अप टू फर्स्ट लंबर वर्टिब्रा। नाउ ये क्या होता है कि एनक्लोज होता है, एनक्लोज एंड प्रोटेक्टेड विद इन द न्यूरल कैनल ऑफ द वर्टिब्रल कलम। वर्टिब्रल कलम के इनसाइड जो न्यूरल कैनल रहता है उसी में ये एनक्लोज यानी कि प्रोटेक्टेड या एनक्लोज रहता है। सो यू कैन से एनक्लोज्ड and protected within neural canal of vertebral column. Okay, so ये न्यूरल कैनल के इनसाइड ये प्रेजेंट रहता है विच इज न्यूरल कैनल, जो वर्टिब्रल कॉलम में जो न्यूरल कैनल रहता है उसी में ये एनक्लोज रहता है और प्रोटेक्टेड रहता है। ठीक है, Now the descending, descends. Okay, ये spinal cord descends from the posterior part of the medulla oblongata. जो जिस medulla oblongata part यानी कि medulla oblongata का जो posterior part है, medulla oblongata brain में है, तो ये brain में जो जिस जगह पे कनेक्ट रहता है वो जगह है posterior part of the medulla oblongata outside of cranium through foramen magnum. ये जो medulla oblongata में कनेक्ट रहता है posterior part ये through foramen magnum. Okay, I will just write it here that descends from posterior part of medulla oblongata outside of cranium through foramen magnum. Okay, foramen magnum के through connected रहता है. Foramen magnum is outside the cranium. So क्रेनियम में जो रहता है कि मेडुला ऑब्लोंगाटा जो कि ब्रेन का एक पार्ट है, मेडुला ऑब्लोंगाटा का जो पोस्टीरियर पार्ट है उसी से ये डिसेंड हुआ. Now its central cavity inside central cavity inside the spinal cord is called neurosil or central canal. Okay, its central cavity is called neurosil or central canal. Okay. Now each segment, ये जो 31, this is 31 segmented, spinal cord is 31 segmented. So each segment bears one pair of spinal nerves. There is one pair of spinal nerve inside each segment. So total there are 31 pair of spinal nerves are present. Okay. Each pair contains pairs, one pair of spinal nerve. So total 31 pair of spinal nerves are present. Okay. ये क्या करता है कि ये जो स्पाइनल कॉर्ड है, it controls most of the reflex action of the body. Okay, most of the reflex action of body. So this is all about spinal cord. Wrote it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will go forward to the reflex action. Okay. What are the reflex actions which are controlled by the spinal cord? Reflex actions. ये जो रिफ्लेक्स एक्शन है इट्स फर्स्ट एक्सप्लेन्ड बाय मार्शल हॉल, जो जिसने जिनने उनको फर्स्ट एक्सप्लेन किया था, उनका नाम है फर्स्ट एक्सप्लेन बाय मार्शल हॉल। ओके, मार्शल हॉल ने उसको फर्स्ट एक्सप्लेन किया था। तो ये व्हाट आर दीज reflex actions? So reflex actions are generally, these are protective or forceful, sudden, spontaneous, involuntary, okay, protective, purposeful, sudden, spontaneous, involuntary actions, ये जो होते हैं ये रिफ्लेक्स एक्शंस में आते हैं। ओके, प्रोटेक्टिव, purposeful, sudden, spontaneous, involuntary actions, so these are reflex actions. So these reflex actions हैं, these are specialized motor response of sensory signal without involvement of the central cerebral hemisphere, hence very fast and rapid response. Okay, so you can say this specialized motor response of sensory signal, no, not of, this or you can say, the specialized motor response or sensory signal without involvement of cerebral hemisphere, or you can say cerebrum, and hence because there is no involvement of the cerebrum, so these are fast, hence fast, very fast, or you can say a rapid response. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
तो ये क्या करता है, क्योंकि ये ब्रेन के सेरिब्रम पे डिपेंड नहीं होता है, so hence it minimize the overloading of the brain. Okay, minimize the overloading of brain. ये क्या होता है कि these reflex actions, you can say, controlled by spinal cord. Okay, these are controlled by spinal cord, but it is regulated, its regulatory center is medulla oblongata. Okay, ये इसको रेगुलेट करता है medulla oblongata, but it is controlled by spinal cord, but its regulatory center is medulla oblongata. Okay, so this is all about reflex actions. Now we will go to, this is all about your spinal cord and reflex actions. Now we will move forward to peripheral nervous system. Okay, wrote it.
Sir, what if it gets damaged? Some part of it gets damaged and some parts are working.
Which part? Which part of which part? I didn't understood you. Repeat your question, please.
Sir, the control for the reflex actions,
Okay.
the center for control of reflex actions,
Okay.
if some part of it gets damaged, I mean that if the center is partially damaged.
Which center? Okay, मतलब आप स्पाइनल कॉर्ड के बारे में बोल रहे हो?
Yes, sir.
ओके, तो स्पाइनल कॉर्ड का कुछ पार्ट अगर डैमेज हुआ तो मतलब स्पाइनल कॉर्ड इज टोटली कनेक्टेड टू एवरी सेगमेंट इज कनेक्टेड टू एवरीवन. ओके, so there are the nerves which are interconnected. So if one part is damaged, then the total spinal cord is damaged. Okay.
Yes, sir.
ओके, और कुछ आपका ये नहीं है ना,
No,
डाउट नहीं
sir.
है और कुछ? ओके.
No, sir.
ओके, now we will move forward to peripheral nervous system. Okay. So peripheral nervous system is comprised of the spinal nerves and cranial nerves. Okay. So you can say peripheral nervous system is represented by spinal nerves and cranial nerves. So spinal nerves are there. So as you know from the previous part, the spinal nerves are 31 pairs in man. Okay, the spinal nerves जो है are 31 pairs in man, and maximum spinal nerve जो है वो snakes के inside होते हैं. Okay, so the maximum spinal nerves are in snakes. I don't know the exact number, but maximum spinal nerves are in snakes. The neck and another part is the cranial nerves. Okay, cranial nerves जो है, it originates from either dorsal root or ventral root of the cranium. Hence sensory, it may be sensory or motor nerve or mixed in nature. It may be both sensory and motor, or it may be sensory or it may be motor. Okay, the cranial nerve may be, it arises from dorsal root or ventral root. So it is either sensory or you can say motor, or these are mixed in nature. डोर्सल रूट जो है ब्रेन का, ये सिर्फ सेंसोरी एंड मोटर नर्व को मतलब कंसिस्ट करता है। डोर्सल रूट से सिर्फ सेंसोरी नर्व एंड मोटर नर्व अराइज करते हैं। इट इज बोथ सेंसोरी एंड मोटर नर्व, ये सिर्फ डोर्सल रूट से अराइज करते हैं। वाइल जो वेंट्रल रूट है उसमें ओनली मोटर नर्व रहता है। वेंट्रल रूट से रहते हैं। ओके, so there are 10 pair of cranial nerves in you can say anamniotes, okay, and 12 pairs in amniotes. Can you explain what do you mean by amniotes and what do you mean by anamniotes?
Sir, please repeat the question.
uh, you just explain me what do you mean by amniotes and what do you mean by anamniotes? You can say, I will just write it here, amniotes or amniotes. ओके, ये क्या है? एमनियोट्स एंड अनएमनियोट्स क्या है पता है? This will be taught to you in the reproduction chapter and in the beginning of the geology.
Amniotes means vertebrates.
Okay, amniotes though, see, amniotes and anemniotes both are vertebrates, but the anemniotes are lower vertebrates, like you can say
Yes,
fishes
lower.
and amphibians. हाँ, yes, say. Yes, tell. I'm listening.
The lower vertebrates or amphibians.
ओके, लोअर वर्टिब्रेट्स में आपके फिश आएंगे, एम्फीबियंस आएंगे। जो जनरली ऐसे स्पेसिफाई कर सकते हो कि जो एनेमनियोट्स हैं वो अपने जो एग्स हैं वो दे ले देयर एग्स इन वाटर, जैसे फिश हो गए। आफ्टर दैट दे ले करेंगे, अगर एग्स को ले करने के बाद आके मेल अपना यानी कि मेल काउंटर पार्ट आके वो स्पर्म्स उस पे गिराएगा वो एग्स के ऊपर। but the fertilization doesn't takes place inside the body of female. ओके, जैसे फिश हो गए, एम्फीबियंस हो गए, जैसे फ्रॉग ले सकते हो आप, वो पहले अपना एग्स ले करते हैं, फिर वो जो मेल काउंटर पार्ट है वो आके अपना स्पर्म्स उस पे गिराता है उस एग्स के ऊपर, फिर वो जाके फर्टिलाइजेशन होता है। लेकिन इन एमनियोट्स ये क्या होता है कि these are higher vertebrates and they lay their lands on a you can say land बोल सकते हो। ह्यूमन के केस में, कुछ के केस में, and all of them inside organs, fertilization takes place inside the ball. After the fertilization, if they some जैसे आपके बर्ड्स हो गए, स्नेक्स वगैरह हो गए, रेप्टाइल्स जैसे हो गए, so they legs after the fertilization, they legs, they a legs. Okay, but in case of human, they give birth to the child. Okay, but so if the fertilization takes place inside the body of the female one, female counterpart, and the female counterpart lay their eggs first. After that, the fertilization takes place. It is always takes place inside water because a medium is required here for the fertilization. So these are in case of the anamniotes. Okay, तो ये जो होता है क्रेनियल नर्व्स ये एन एमनियोट्स के केस में 10 पेयर के होते हैं। ओके, एन एमनियोट्स के केस में 10 पेयर के होते हैं एंड एमनियोट्स के केस में 12 पेयर। जो 11th and 12th pair is absent in the n amniotes. So this is all about your cranial nerves and the spinal nerves, and which represent the peripheral nervous system. Now we will continue forward to the autonomic nervous system. Okay. Let's try these once. After you
Hello,
complete it,
copied,
just try.
sir.
Okay, okay. Then we will move forward to the autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system जो है, it is first explained by J.N. Langley. I will just write the name of him. It is first explained by J.N. Langley. ये autonomic nervous system control our visceral organs, which are like heart, okay, the smooth muscles, you can say cardiac muscles. So it controls all the visceral organs. So it is that's why it is also called the visceral neural system. Controls our visceral organs, so called as visceral neural system. It is it controls the visceral organs. Okay, it is known as the relay center for the visceral function. You can say it is also known as the relay center. It is called the relay center. Okay, relay center for visceral functions. So it coordinates this involuntary smooth muscles, cardiac muscles, and glands, different glands also, or you can say visceral organs. Generally, you can say visceral organs, or you can say, I will just write it here, coordinates involuntary smooth muscles, involuntary smooth muscles like are those muscles which have to work independently. Okay, they don't depend upon any part of the brain to um, function. Okay, they work independently because their function is required for our body, and if anything stops even during our sleep, our brain gets deactivated. Only your autonomic nervous system is activated during the sleep time. So these systems will be activated every time you just an example in case of heart has to beat, heart has to function every day, every moment. So ये इसको अगर कोई अदर पार्ट कंट्रोल करेगा ब्रेन का, तो ब्रेन अगर भी टाइम पे डीएक्टिवेटेड होगा, उस टाइम पे ये फंक्शन नहीं कर पाएगा। इसीलिए इसको ये ऑटोनोमिक नर्वस सिस्टम के अंडर आते हैं, जिसलिए उनको इंडिपेंडेंटली वो फंक्शन कर सकते। स्मूथ मसल्स और यू कैन से कार्डियक मसल्स, खाने का डाइजेशन, ये हम जो सोते हैं तब भी होता है। सो दीज द मसल्स रिलेटेड टू द डाइजेशन ऑफ द फूड, that is also comes under the smooth muscles, involuntary smooth muscles. Cardiac muscles are specially related to the heart muscles. Okay, and you can say glands should function. Okay, in the glands present in the digestive system, they have to work independently, involuntarily. Okay, voluntarily, involuntarily. Okay, or you can say visceral organs, or the visceral organs. Now it is regulated and integrated by hypothalamus. Some part of the brain needs to regulate this thing. So regulated, and you can say integrated by hypothalamus. Now it is made up of motor nerve, peripheral nervous system. Okay. So the nerves involved here are nerves involved to control these things or regulate these things are the motor nerves of peripheral nervous system. Made up of, you can say, motor nerve of peripheral nervous system. One point is that it cannot command or control the learning, because the brain is never involved here. Okay, the cerebral part is not involved here, so it cannot command or control the learning or the memory or the hearing also, you can say. So it cannot command or control the learning, memory or hearing. So the autonomic nervous system is consists of two parts: sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, after completed writing. Yeah, completed.
Sir, just a minute.
Okay. When completed, just mention in the chart section.
Done, sir.
Okay, okay. So the autonomic nervous system, you can say ANS, is comprises of two parts. First part, you can say it is called the sympathetic nervous system. Okay. Neural system. You can say SNS or parasympathetic nervous system. Yes. Now, this sympathetic nervous system जो होता है उसका फंक्शन क्या होता है? Speed up, or you can say it is the used to speed up activation part, or stimulation part, or dilation part, relaxation part, and so these are some functions you can say. You can say, I will just write it here, that it is used to speed up any processing of these visual organs, or you can say activation, or you can say stimulation, uh, or you can say dilation, relaxation, okay, or increase of anything. ओके, सो ये सब काम में जो आदत है, अगर स्पीड अप करना है कोई सिस्टम को, वो करता है, और किसी सिस्टम को एक्टिवेट करना होता है वो करता है, या स्टिमुलेट किसी को करना होता है वो करता है, डायलेट करना होता है ये करता है, रिलैक्स करना होता है वो कर सकता है, और किसी चीज का इंक्रीज करना होता है, ये कोई फंक्शन का, वो चीज का, वो सब काम होता है ये sympathetic nervous system. And the function of the parasympathetic nervous system is just opposite to the sympathetic nervous system. I mean, if it speeds up any process, it will slow down the process. In case of, you can say, just write it here, that the function is to opposite function is opposite to SNS. सिंपैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम का जो काम है उसका जस्ट अपोजिट होता है। ये जो काम करता है, ये सिंपैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम, इसका कुछ सिस्टम पे ये काम नहीं कर सकता। क्या क्या चीजें हैं? वो होते हैं ब्लड वेसल्स, या फिर यू कैन से डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम, या फिर आपके जो एरेक्टल पिलाई मसल्स यानी कि बॉडी हेयर्स जो है, ये चीजों पे ये काम नहीं कर सकता। इन चीजों में ये काम करेगा, ये नहीं काम करेगी पैरासिम्पैथिक नर्वस सिस्टम। एक्सेप्शन है इधर, एक्सेप्ट, ओके। So this is all about autonomic nervous system. Any doubts?
Understood, sir.
Okay. Now we will move forward to some of the stimuli which are present inside the human body, and the receptors which are present in the brain, which controls or you can say detects those stimuli. Okay. Completed writing, I will just clear these things. Okay. I will just move forward to some of the stimuli. Say stimuli and the name of the receptor is detect these stimuli. Now, first stimuli is touch. Okay. First stimuli you can say is touch. टच जो स्टिमुली है उसको डिटेक्ट करता है टैक्टो रिसेप्टर. Or you can say another receptor is present also, which is called the thigmoreceptor. Tacto receptor it may be, or thigmo. Okay. टैक्टो रिसेप्टर और थिग्मो रिसेप्टर. टैक्टो रिसेप्टर जो होता है वो जेंटल टच जो होता है, ये इट डिटेक्ट्स द जेंटल टचेस एंड ये थिग्मो रिसेप्टर है जो जेंटल टचेस यानी कि विदाउट प्रेशर. डीप टचेस विथ प्रेशर जो है वो थिग्मो रिसेप्टर डिटेक्ट करता है. ओके. डीप टचेस, this is without pressure and which is with pressure. Okay, this is for the tactile receptor. Touch के लिए जो touch stimuli है, there are two receptors are there, tactile receptor or maybe thigmoreceptor. Gentle touch without any pressure is tactile receptor, and if it is deep touch with a pressure, that is thigmoreceptor. Okay. Now, if the stimuli is in a chemical, if the stimuli is in chemical, so it is called the chemoreceptor. Okay, stimuli is called the chemical. It is called the chemoreceptor. The stimuli, if it is sorry, the chemical is, if the chemical is gas, then it is called the chemoreceptor used for the this gaseous stimuli, gaseous chemical stimuli. It is called the olfactoreceptor. Okay, olfactoreceptor. So olfactoreceptor means it detects the smell. Okay. ये olfactory receptors जो है ये रहता है, यानी कि ये अब क्या हो गया, Snyderian membrane. Example of the olfactory receptors are the Snyderian membrane of nose, you can say olfactoepithelium. Now if it is liquid, chemical is liquid, then it is called gustatoreceptor. Gustatoreceptor means you can say it is taste, you can say also. It detects the taste. Okay. It is from the test word of the tongue is also gustatoreceptor. You can say. If the stimuli is temperature, if the stimuli is temperature, then the receptor is called thermoreceptor. And for the decreasing temperature, you can say, or for the cold temperature, there is two temperatures. No? If it is cold, then you can say decreasing temperature. Then the receptor, the thermoreceptor is called here frigidoreceptor. Or if it is the temperature is high, or in say heat increasing, so the receptor is called caloreceptor. So if it is it is for the stimuli of temperature. Now, if the stimuli is pain, the stimuli is pain, it is called nociceptor, or you can say algesi receptor. You can say algesi receptor or nociceptor. ये जो receptors होते हैं ये सारे ये all the free nerve endings in all body parts. Okay, except brain, all the free nerve endings in the body part are the you can say can detect the pain, algesi receptors. Okay, the stimuli you can say if it is balance or body orientation, if how you have to detect the balance or body orientation. It's okay. The completed writing, or I can just erase from the upper part. So if the stimuli is balance, is about the balance or orientation, so of the body. So the receptor involved here is called proprioceptor. Okay. So these receptors are present in the free nerve endings with bone, cartilage, ligament, tendon, joints, and muscles. These are present in those. I'll just sorry. You can say receptors, which detect the body orientation and can say balance of the body. Now another receptor is another stimuli we can say which we will talk about is the acceleration of the body, or you can say the gravity of the body, gravity, sorry, not gravity of the body, gravity of the earth, उसको डिटेक्ट करने के लिए you can say acceleration और gravity is okay, उसको डिटेक्ट करने के लिए रहता है स्टेटोरिसेप्टर. अगर ये ये केमिकल वाला पार्ट कंप्लीट हुआ ना, केमिकल गैस ये सब केमिकल स्टिमुलस कंप्लीट हो गया है. Jam, are you done? Okay, okay, fine. Just don't you can say after finishing the classes you can copy it to your note so that it will be helpful for you. Now if the stimuli is sound, okay, the stimuli is sound, the receptor is involved here is called audio receptor, or you can say phonoreceptor. ये ऑडियो रिसेप्टर या फोनो रिसेप्टर कहाँ पे होता है? दिस में भी प्रेजेंट इन द जो अगर ईयर के जो अगर स्ट्रक्चर के डिटेल में हम पढ़ेंगे हमारे ये ईयर कोर्स में है ईयर और आई के बारे में. सो इन द डिटेल वी विल स्टडी द structure of ear. There is a organ called organ of Corti. Organ of Corti जो कि इंटरनल ईयर में प्रेजेंट रहता है. इंटरनल ईयर में उसी में ये ऑडियो रिसेप्टर यू कैन से फोनो रिसेप्टर प्रेजेंट. एंड इफ द रिसेप्टर इज लाइट it is detected by photoreceptor. Okay, the receptor is light is called the photoreceptor. ये photoreceptor कहाँ पे होता है? ये retina of eye. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
These are the some of the stimuli and the name of the receptors. I will just visit it again. That if the stimuli is touch, it is called tactoreceptor, the tractoreceptor, or maybe thigmoreceptor. Tactoreceptor, if the touch is gentle touch without any pressure, so it is the receptor involved here is tactoreceptor. It is a deep touch with pressure, it is called a thigmoreceptor. The thigmoreceptors and tactoreceptors, all of the skin may retain, and epidermis, you can say all of the epidermal layers may retain. If the you can say the stimuli is chemical stimuli, the receptor name of the receptor is chemoreceptor. Chemical may be gaseous chemical or liquid chemical. If the chemical is in the gaseous form, the receptors are called the chemoreceptor, which involved here is called the olfactory receptors, which takes the smell related to the smell, जो कि Cnidarian membrane of the or Cnidarian membrane effect in your inside Cnidarian membrane, which is called the olfactory epithelial tissue. जो नोज के इंसाइड रहता है उसी पे ये रिसेप्टर रहता है. एंड इफ द chemical stimuli is in the liquid form, the receptor is called the gustatoreceptor. You can say it is related to the taste. And the receptors are the examples of these receptors are taste buds of the tongue. And if the stimuli is temperature, so the receptor is called thermoreceptor. It is the temperature is cold temperature. You can say a decreasing temperature. Low temperature, it is called the frigidoreceptor. The thermoreceptor is called frigidoreceptor. Okay. And the temperature is heat and very hot. The temperature is very high. So the thermoreceptor here it is called the caloreceptor. So this is about the temperature. The temperature is the stimuli. Now the temperature is the sorry. Now the stimuli is the pain. Then it is called the algesic receptor, or you can say nociceptor. Okay. And ये जो algesic receptor है या फिर you can say nociceptors है, ये सारे जो फ्री नर्व जितने भी नर्व एंड फ्री नर्व एंडिंग्स है all over the body parts except brain. Now, balance or body orientation is the stimuli. Then the receptor involved here is called the proprioceptor. Okay, and these proprioceptors are found in the free nerve endings with bone, cartilage, ligament, tendon, joints, muscles. जो कि balance or body orientation को detect करता है. And if the stimuli is acceleration or you can say gravity, the receptor involved here is called the statoreceptor. We can and this state gravity you can see the axillary, you can say the body free fall कर रहा है, that gravity or you can say acceleration which gets the body, that force of gravity the body will feel, you can see that stimuli will be detected by statoreceptor, and the stimuli is sound, then it is audio receptor or you can say phonoreceptor. ये जो ऑडियो रिसेप्टर है ये ऑर्गन ऑफ कॉर्टी, ये जो कि इंटरनल ईयर में प्रेजेंट होता है, ऑर्गन ऑफ कॉर्टी उसी उसी में रहता है ये ऑडियो रिसेप्टर you can say और phonoreceptor. Now that the stimuli is light, it is called the photoreceptor, so which is present in the retina of eye. Okay, now we just study some details about the olfactory receptor. Okay, some more detail about the olfactory receptor, because the eye and ear is in your syllabus. You will detail study that part about eye and ear, but you will just study the olfactory receptor here little bit. Olfactory receptor is your this cnidarian membrane, or can I say the olfactory epithelium present inside the nose. Okay, there is the cnidarian membrane, or you can say olfactory epithelium present inside the this is present inside the nose. यह क्या करता है, this stimuli, it goes to, first it is detected by this cnidarian membrane or olfactory epithelium of the nose. Now this stimuli goes to the basal cells present in the epithelium. Now, or you can say supporting cells of the epithelium, or you can say the sensory cells or hair cells present inside the nose or epithelium, or hair cells. ये तीनों सेल्स को ये जो olfactory receptors है ये सिग्नल सेंड करता है. नाउ इन तीनों सेल से कनेक्टेड होता है olfactory nerve. नाउ ये क्या करता है, अब ये olfactory nerve they send the signal into olfactory lobe, olfactory lobe, you can say I will just write it for into olfactory lobe. Now this olfactory lobe is present in the temporal lobe of the central nervous system. Okay. Now this is all about the olfactory receptor, how it sends the signal of olfaction to the brain. Now let's see this olfaction, you can say, directly proportional to ovulation. ओव्यूलेशन यानी कि फीमेल्स में जब ओव्यूलेशन के टाइम पे, ओव्यूलेशन के टाइम में यानी कि आप बोल सकते हो ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ ओव्यूलेशन इन द मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल ऑफ दिस फीमेल्स, उस टाइम पे क्या होता है कि प्रोजेस्टेरॉन लेवल उनके बॉडी में हाई होता है, प्रोजेस्टेरॉन लेवल, जिसकी वजह से ये ऑल्फैक्शन का पावर जो है उनमें इंक्रीज हो जाता है. So you can say the progesterone level is higher in any woman, then the olfaction level would be higher. It will detect the smell very well. Now, if a person do smoking, so you can say it is inversely, olfaction is inversely proportional to smoking. Inversely proportional to smoking means if a person do much smoking, then the olfaction power will, or olfaction receptors will be uh, now the not detect the olfaction very well. It will olfactory receptors will not work properly. So it is inversely proportional to smoking and directly proportional to ovulation. And you can say the progesterone level. The progesterone levels are high, olfactory levels will be, olfactory power will be higher. The ovulation progesterone level is low, and olfactory power will be low. The two things are remain in chapter. That is a ear and the eye. Now we will complete these two things, ear and eye, in the next class and do some questions. I think I didn't cover any questions today. ओके, ये पूरे चैप्टर में जितने क्वेश्चन हैं हम कल कवर करेंगे और इन दोनों को खत्म करेंगे. तो ये अभी तक के पढ़ाई हुई चीजों में कुछ डाउट है तो पूछ सकते हो आप. Any doubts in the sections we study today? Okay, so listen, passive smoking, active smoking, or maybe passive smoking. If smoking is high, or you will, if it is done in a not in a regular basis, then it will not affect the your olfactory system that much. If it is not done regularly, the smoking, and the frequency of smoking is very high in anyone, then it will put a very big impact on the olfactory system. So is passive smoking is it means you cannot say what you will, it will depend upon the frequency of smoking. Okay, how much does a person smoke? So passive smoking doesn't affect that much, but it will put some effect on the olfactory system, but it will maybe negligible. Passive smoking means you can say if it is not done in a regular basis, you can say in a month or weekly twice, weekly once or monthly once or twice. That's not that will not impact the olfactory system that much. But if it is actively, a person is smoking actively 3 to 4 cigarettes daily, that will put some impact in the olfactory system. Okay, clear? Now we can conclude the class here. We just study about ear, which is called the stratoacoustic organ of the body. Ear is called the statoacoustic organ. Okay, ear or and your eye. So that's it. We will just conclude the class here, and we will just do some questions tomorrow after finishing the year and I. Okay, thank you. Good night.